All right, good morning, you guys. So, Brittany and I, we were listening to all of you and sharing things that we're struggling with as a team or a group or individually, and just thinking back to the beginning of our journeys. And so, we came up with kind of two things that we wanted to share and talk about today. Feel free to jump in with questions or add comments, whatever, put them in the chat or unmute yourself. But those two things are going to be, what do I say? Like in posts and stories when I'm talking to people, how do I find my voice and what do I know? How do I know what to say? And then how do I have more conversations? Like essentially, how do I grow my following? Which these are all things that are my take on this. And so this is by no means the only way or the right way. But you don't get to figure out your take on things unless you do things and you try things. So I've definitely tried things in the past that have flopped, and I've definitely tried things that have been like surprisingly went really well. So um, just keep that in the back of your mind, like whatever we're sharing in these calls and things, like you don't have to go and do every single one of them, but pick a few things that you can implement or that sound interesting or that they fit you and go and try and do those. Okay. So what do you say? So my biggest thing here is you have to be willing to suck. So it's when you think about like, oh, I can't talk on my stories, because that was totally me. And I swore I could not talk on my stories. I'll do everything but that. I cannot do a live video in a group. I will do everything but that. But it really comes down to, that's a really selfish way to think. Because when I was thinking like that, I was only worried about myself. Like I was only worried about, oh, that makes me nervous. What if I mess up? I'm uncomfortable with this. When we're all here to help other people, to change lives, to inspire others. And so when we keep that as our focus, like, no, somebody needs to hear the words that come out of my mouth today. Somebody does. And so it's not about me. So don't be selfish with what you share. Like just think about the people that need you and know that every one of you has people that need you. So again, be willing to suck. So for me right now, because I think we're always growing, it was so scary to just talk on my stories, but then I just started and it got less scary. Well, now the thing that I'm like, okay, now it's time. I should have been doing this in the beginning, but I wasn't talking about coaching enough. And so now I talk on my stories every single day. No joke, just started this summer, something about coaching. And you could probably go watch them and tell, like, this is not as smooth as when I can talk about a boot camp and rattle that off, right? Or give motivation. I am stumbling. But I will not get better at that if I don't do it and don't try. Okay. You don't get better at things that you don't do. So for me right now, it's awkward. And I know though that it's going to get easier. I know that there's people watching that need to know that this is an opportunity. Brittany and I were just talking to Andrea the other day. We're like, gosh, if you didn't 5 years ago start talking about this as a job, we would never have known that it was a job and was a thing that you could literally do as a job. And now, 2 years into this for myself, this is the job that I want to do all the time, and I don't want to do anything else. I still have a day job, but I would never have known that if Andrea wasn't talking about it. Okay, so I know that someone else will not know about it if I don't talk about it. So again, be willing to suck. Do not overthink what you share when you're trying to find your voice. Just share what you're doing. And I have a couple, I screenshotted really quickly last night, so they're not great examples, but I have a couple examples of different posts and different stories. I'll show you those at the end of like examples of what I mean, but show what you're doing, show what you're eating, show what workouts you're doing, or show what's happening in your boot camp group. If you're not running your own boot camp group yet, you can still show what's happening in the group that you're in. Like, the outside world doesn't know that you're not leading it. You can still say, look at what this girl did in our group. Like, look at this whatever from our group. Like, honestly, guys, when I first started talking on my stories, I didn't know what to say. So every morning I would just like, but I knew I needed to do it. I'd say, you know what day it is? It's a great day to join me. Like, Andrea is probably laughing. I can't see her face, but she's probably dying laughing because I cracked her up every day. But I'd be like, you guys, just so you know, you can join me. And today is a perfect day. I figured out a voice later on of, now I'm talking. Now this isn't as uncomfortable. So now I can add things, but say something. You will find your voice, but you're not going to find it if you stay quiet. Think about your struggles. Think about where you were when you started, and think about it in the coaching aspect and with being like a boot camper or someone who is just joining for the health and fitness side. And then talk about that, right? Write about it in a post, talk about it on your stories. So here's a few things that I like to share. Oh, sorry, I wrote note cards and so I'm looking at my notes. It's just not so much about like the words that you're sharing. I've heard someone say this, but it's more about how you make someone feel when they listen to you. So I always just make sure, like, when I am talking about coaching, and I know it's not perfect yet, but it's probably never going to be perfect. That's not what I'm striving for. I just make sure that I have some energy, that I'm smiling, that I'm like, you want to join this, because who doesn't want to, right? So it's less about the words that you're saying. Things that I put on my stories every single day, no joke, on my stories every single day, is that I talk about a boot camp. Maybe I share a success of someone in the group. Maybe I share what we're doing. Like, right now we have like a Motivation Monday theme. So maybe I'm showing some of the things that people are saying. I talk about coaching every single day. Maybe that's shouting out a coach or whatever, or sharing like what I used to think about coaching or what held me back from coaching. I share a meal or a snack. I share my workouts. I share my shake. I like to share some kind of motivation. I give shout outs, and then I share part of my life. So that is a huge list of things. But as I have kept going, it's not hard for me to crank that out. Like, I will have all of that out by this morning, and I'll be done for the day, really, until the evening. And during the day, like, I will take a picture or a quick video, and I'll just leave it on my camera roll. And then at night, I'll go upload those. So I'm not sitting on my phone. If that list sounds like, oh my God, she must be on social media like all day long, I'm not. So I just load it up in the morning, I add a little at night, and then maybe at nap time, and go from there. Post, okay, make a weekly like plan for your posts. Some of you are in Brittany and our coach challenge group right now. And so we've given our coaches a Monday through Friday like plan. So we don't tell them what they're saying, but on Mondays, they're sharing some kind of transformation. Now, that doesn't always have to be like, here, a weight loss transformation. Some of it is like how they used to feel on Mondays and how they feel now, or how they feel before a workout and after a workout, or what they used to eat, what they eat now, mindset shifts, like whatever, but some type of transformation. Tuesdays, I think we've been sharing like a recipe or a meal tip or something to do with nutrition. Wednesday is something about your life other than coaching. Thursday is a straight up call to action of some sort, like, I have a group and you can join me, but you share it in some other way, but you put that at the end. And then Friday was like something fun or something that adds value. But again, make some type of plan, because to me, once you have your plan, it's not hard to think of a post. But when you're just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks, like, that is hard. And you don't have to follow that exact plan. Ways to help make plans is make sure that you're always having dates and deadlines. So have dates that your boot camps are starting on, whether it's a free group or a full-on 21-day fixed group or whatever kind of group you want. You guys can run any groups that you want. No one will decide that for you. You get to pick. You're the boss. You're a CEO. So if you think a group sounds fun to do, an Instapot free group of healthy recipes that you cook in your Instant Pot, do it. Someone out there wants to do that with you. I don't, I hate to cook, but somebody else wants to do that with you. If that sounds fun to you, because that's what will be fun for your people. If it sounds boring for you, don't waste your time on it, because it's not going to be fun for your people. But always have groups and things going on, have dates, have deadlines, so that when you are writing posts, you're like, hey, there are 2 spots left. If you have to on your stories and you're making a list, like, I am only opening up 5 spots for this group. Well, maybe if 6 people decided to reach out, like, you'd let that 6th person in, but no one else needs to know that. And maybe nobody's joining you, in that blank list sitting there is like, okay, put one of our names on it. No one needs to know if you're fibbing, like, a little bit, but you create some FOMO, you create some lists, you create some urgency, and that way that'll help you have a plan for what you're going to post and say. The other thing I do is, when I do talk on my stories in the morning, if by chance I'm like, oh, that was like a really good motivation or story, or like, yeah, that was a struggle I had and I just shared it, I will then put that in word form and post about it. Because what I've found is there are some people that only read posts, and there are some people that only look at stories. And even if they're looking at both, they never notice if you reshare some of the things. So if you're like, I cannot think of this much content, use the same thing in both places. Okay. And then let's see.
Can I
Okay.
just share a really quick idea with the whole
Yes.
FOMO and the list thing? If you, let's say it's halfway through the month and you've had 3 people sign up, you can create one of those lists and only put the first person's name on it, and then like 6 hours later update it with the next person's name and be like, guys, this group is filling up. And then the next day, like, put the 3rd person on there, because then you're totally not lying, you're just dripping the information. And then it's like, oh my gosh, everybody's signing up right now, maybe I should follow this nudge and like do this right now because everyone else is doing it right now.
Yes, definitely. I have started doing, like, when I'm talking, like, oh, I'm super pumped, like, Aaron and Caitlin, they just joined. Oh, I'm super pumped to get to start working with them this morning, and blah, blah, blah. They have messages waiting for them in their inbox. They're not up yet, but I'm up, and they have messages waiting, like, just adding to that. Another thing I've been doing on and off is, if I'm like, I need like a little boost, like, I've been Father's Day or Memorial Day, oh, flash Memorial Day sale. Like, you can just make it up. And the people that sign up that weekend, maybe I made a super short list. I'm like, okay, you guys, not only is your challenge pack $20 off, because that's the sale that's going on right now, but I'm going to throw in a gift to my favorite boutique, and I sent them an e-gift card that month or whatever. So just know, like, it's endless of what you can do. There are no rules. You can make up anything. Okay. So how to have more conversations and add followers. First of all, I want you to just know that adding followers is like, for your Instagram number to grow, it's a slow thing. And you do not need to focus on that number. Like, there is no number on Instagram like that you need X amount of followers to be able to be a successful coach. That is a lie. Stop telling yourself that. So to grow your following every day, I go follow new people. And just this summer, I don't know what video I watched, but a different coach said something about, go follow people on Facebook that you have mutual friends with. And I was like, Facebook is not, no, that's not how it goes. Instagram wants more followers, Facebook doesn't. Well, I just kicked that to the curb, and I just started following tons of people that have mutual friends with me on Facebook. And guess what? In hundreds and hundreds of follows, only one person has messaged me and said, hey, do we actually know each other? And I was like, no, we don't, I don't think. I said, just saw that we had a lot of mutual friends. No worries if you don't want to add me, that's fine. No one else has said a word, so it's not really been as scary as I had put it in my head for 2 years. So I go and add, I follow more people. I follow new people on Facebook and Instagram. And I personally look for, I'll just scroll the feed, or I'll go to pictures and stuff that I think, oh, that's a, interesting picture of someone I would want to be friends with, I click on who has liked it, and I'll follow any women or people that look like they might have kids, like moms and things, because that's my jam. But that's what I do. And I click on the like button to like people's pictures. This part is huge. I comment on people's photos. I comment on people's stories. I hit the react button to people's stories. And I don't make comments thinking like, "Ooh, I'm going to get this person to sign up." No, like I'm just making a comment and I have no strings attached. It does not matter to me if they don't write me back, if they never join a group. I have people that I have commented with and they're like my Instagram friends and they're actually really cool and they have never joined me. One is a Burn Boot Camp person. She's amazing. I keep telling her she'd make a great coach. I think I've told it for a year. She hasn't joined. It's fine. There's no strings attached. You just make those comments. And as you scroll, like if you have a comment pop in your head, you just make the comment like, oh, super cute swimsuit. Where did you get it? I actually just did this to a person yesterday because I'm like, my daughter wants a watermelon print swimsuit. Her old one doesn't fit. I can't freaking find one anywhere. And this girl had a swimsuit on. So I commented on that, right? You just do, and you'll build relationships. But that 100% turns into people going to your page and thinking, who is this girl? Do I want to follow her? And it gives them the chance to decide if they want to follow you or not. I try and ask questions, right? So that it's engaging instead of just like a like or a thumbs up back, even though that's super out of my own comfort zone because I'm an introvert. My first reaction isn't to ask you more questions, to talk more. My first reaction is to out of here, but ask questions. It brings people to your feed. And all of your conversations can stem from those activities, but other ways to do it too is to have in your stories and in your posts, and I have a few examples I'll show you in just a second, have polls, give them ways to interact with you, and not just about coaching things, but just about life, about anything. And then when someone does vote on your poll or comment or redo the reaction button or whatever, message those people back. And just, that's how you start a conversation. Don't message them back like, oh, you liked my thing about I'm remodeling my floor and that I should keep the nasty tile linoleum. It was a joke. Don't message them back and talk about your boot camp. That's not what you're leading with. People can go to Beachbody and buy a challenge pack themselves. They don't need you to do that. So lead with you and them because you are the part they can't buy. And then I do send actual real invites to boot camps when I go back through my posts or I go through a story where I've talked about my boot camp. And then I will say, hey, I see you watching. Should I send you the info on my boot camp? And I switched it to, are you interested? I've kind of gotten rid of that word because Josh Coates told me to, so I did. And actually, I swear, it's become a yes or no question, and that's really easy for people to answer. Am I interested is like, well, maybe I might be interested, but I don't know if I'm interested with, it just opens more gate. So I changed it to, should I send you this? And then when they say yes, lead with them, with questions about them. I say, great. Okay, first tell me though, what are your health and fitness goals right now? And they send those back and I'll say, great, I can definitely help you with those, because that's letting them know that I can help you with those, right? With this plan, but you need me too. And I can help you with those. Now, can you stream a 30-minute video 5-ish days a week? Okay, good, perfect. Now I'm going to send you over this picture. I love this middle pack. It's my favorite. Blah, blah, blah. What questions do you have now? And so I always try to end with a question, see, so like they know what they should respond back to me. But again, you don't get to be good at this without practicing it and doing it, because I definitely have grown and figured out a system that works for me. And I used to not lead with that. And I think this just totally lets them know, like, I'm a human, you're a human, we're going to work together, and we're actually going to speak to each other. And that's what's going to be different than anything else you've joined. Okay. Give them a lot of different ways. Let me start sharing my screen here. I think there was something in the chat. Hold on. Oh, thanks, Andrea. Let me share this screen. So again, I just went super fast and did this. Where is like the present button? Here we go. It's like I'm back teaching sixth graders on Zoom. Everybody follow along. Share old excuses. These are posts and struggles, but make sure you spin it to win it. So here's some examples where, and I'll use my own old excuses, or I'll also use excuses that maybe people are giving me when I send them invites, and they're like, "Oh no, like, yeah, no, I can't do that cost right now," or whatever. Which I think is total BS, because if people are able to buy pop and buy Starbucks and Caribou and whatever, then you can afford Beachbody. But anyway, so talk too expensive. This one I'm trying to talk to moms who are reading this post, and I'm like talking to myself, like, you're reading this, you think you're boring, this isn't for you, whatever. This one I'm letting them know, like, I had 50 pounds to lose too. Over here, it's super short, but I'm like, some days this scene is overwhelming, others days it's just what you need. So you can sort of share like your human struggles, but also know that, you know, spin it to win it. Like, they need to relate to you, but also they don't need to hear sob stories. Here are just straight up, these are to engage. So this one, I made these like energy bites, and it's just, if down here, it's like, drop me a emoji. Hi, goodbye. Is if you want the recipe. So sometimes I'll just share the recipe, but for this one, I didn't share the recipe. I said you had to drop that emoji or message me to get it. That way we can start talking in a more private area. This one went over well last week. I was surprised. But drop a colored heart of how you feel about exercising. And then you can be like, oh, me too. I'm an orange too, or I'm a whatever. You know, this one was something that worked super well for me as a mom home with the kids on summer break. And then at the end, like, ask them people for ideas. Um, People love this one because it just shows you, like, not really filtered with the shower cap on, brush my teeth, because that's what it looks like. Because when I work, I don't have time to wash my hair every day. But it's things that people can relate to. And so sometimes you can just post for strictly engagement purposes. Here is just share what you're doing. Don't overthink it. Just share what I'm doing. Like, literally, this one is my selfie and a video. And in this video, the kids are like pulling each other on jump ropes on their trikes around that table. And I have to stop because they're like going to take me out. Anyway, but I'm just like, you know, my 2-year-old was having a meltdown. Good thing I can move these workouts outside because that works for both of us. Whatever. I'm sharing that I'm in a challenge. Here's what food I ate. This one, I literally asked my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, what should I tell the girls with this picture? And she was like, tell them that you look happy and they'll be joyful too. So I just told people that. So you really don't need to overthink what you're going to say. Give them easy actions to do, give them dates, give them deadlines. So here on this one, I'm like, okay, send me, I'm ready. So I'm telling them, you send me this, so that they don't need, it's scary, you guys, to reach out to us. Like, I just know, I have a friend of mine that's in the boot camp. She's super open and honest. And she's like, you guys are, no wonder you must be so fit. You probably don't eat anything. Like, her view of us is like, it's unattainable. There's no way she's going to reach out to us. So give them easy ways to do it. Tell them what words to send you. This one, I'm letting them know, my June boot camp is full. Okay. Like, literally, we're full. You can message me or use the link in my bio to get on the wait list for the next one. I'm letting them know that, like, that was an awesome group. Here, drop this boxing emoji if you want info on this one. So again, be direct. Here's a couple of story invites. Again, give them chances to have conversations with you, like these little Instagram reaction things or whatever. Like, where am I, all these shoppers? I was telling a story about, like, you know, all the other rules to a grocery store go out the door when you shop at Aldi, because it's so weird, but I love it. This is like, oh, should we keep this floor? Okay, now click back on these things. and send a message to those people and be like, just be a human and talk about the weird floor that's under your girl's carpet that you're getting rid of or whatever. Okay, don't overthink it. Share wins and what is happening in your group. So I'll like video record my screen of the sweaty selfies, and I try to just go fast because, you know, not everybody in your group wants their face on your story, but then I put some words over it and I show my sweaty selfie and I'm like, oh, like this is what we're doing. We check in. This was something someone messaged me. And I'm like, look it, I get messages like this as a coach. This is amazing. Here I covered their faces because I don't know that they want me to share this. They just shared what happened after the 21 days. Here's a bunch of screenshots of Motivation Monday or Tasty Tuesday. I'll screenshot their recipes. So give people a variety of ways to reach out to you, get some FOMO going, and make sure you start talking on your stories. Like this one, hit the reaction button. I'll send you all the details. That one actually worked. I just tried that. I didn't know if it would, but I thought, maybe I'll just tell people, like, just hit the reaction button. And that worked. That was this last week. This one here, I'm telling a story. 2 years ago, I could barely think about pushing play, blah, blah, blah. Here's one that's like, did you sweat yet today? So then I can message those people and like give them a clapping emoji or be like, yeah, me too. What workout did you do? Here's that list again of dates and things like that. So, oh, and then give shout outs. I've been doing this with our coaching things. Like even if you're not on this, you can reshare this and be like, dude, look what's happening in my group. Look at the lives. These coaches rocked it last week. Like whatever. Breadcrumb things like, oh, I'm getting my next group started. Like, don't miss out. Like, you know, whatever. So, and then just again, be sure to talk on your stories because people do not buy things from people that they've never heard speak. Right? Okay. I'm done sharing the screen. Let me go back to, how do I stop? I can barely remember. Okay, here we go. Candace, when are you going to present at Super Week? Oh, Emily, thank you. That is actually on my bucket list. You're calling. Oh God, you guys are too nice. Okay. Do anyone have any questions? I'm blushing. Retired teacher. Yes, that is a dream. No, okay. Hopefully that was.
I have a quick question. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yesterday, I think her name is Melanie, posted that really nice, like how she's transformed and stuff. Like, should I message her to ask if I can use her words or just kind of like blur out her name and stuff? Like, how should?
Oh, yeah, like
maybe that's not her name. I know.
Yeah, it is. It is. I know what you're saying. So in our group the other day, somebody posted a face by face and a message of how she's transformed. It was amazing. She's not a coach yet. So yeah, in that instance, I would just say, gosh, I loved your post. Would you mind if I shared it? I can blur your name out. I can, you know, hide your face. Because there's so many ways to put an emoji over a line or whatever. But yeah, in that instance, when I'm sharing like something really vulnerable that somebody else shared, I would ask for permission. That's a good point. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else with other like comments or anything? Brittany, anything else you want to add? Oh, Cameron, hey.
I'm wondering if anybody ever struggles when speaking to cost or excuses if you struggle with acknowledging white privilege in those statements. Because I do a lot, and acknowledging an economic lens through which I'm looking is very middle class white, and how that might be applying. Like my audience is reflective of that, but if I'm looking to attract more people to that, one might make people not want to follow or listen to your story, and then also kind of rub people the wrong way in which they're not willing to invest time or energy with you.
That's a hard question. I don't have a great answer because I don't personally feel that, I guess. I don't know. Does anybody else have thoughts on that?
And if not, that's fine. It's just something like when I'm writing posts about that too, I'm like, this is very, very much the reflective of the privilege I grew up in.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of tango with back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm to the point where I don't give a lot of thought to who, I don't know if this will sound bad or not, of offending people. I'm just trying to share the best I can from my own heart and my own experiences. And that's really all that I know. So I think that's really all that I can share. I don't know. That's an interesting question. I'll have to think more about that. If you see a few other people unmiked, does anybody else want to jump in?
I was just going to say, Cami, you just did an awesome post about like that you're not for everyone. And I think I know, like I post stuff about like what I need to hear and like what resonates with me. And I think maybe you just need to tap into that a little bit more. Maybe that's not the person you're speaking to.
Yeah.
And try not to feel offended by thinking of the person that might be offended. I don't know.
That's a good call out.
Because your avatar is going to be the person that resonates with, and that's who you want to hear what you have to say. I mean, that's what Candace and Brittany and Andrea preach all the time. You know, you got to be true to you, and that's going to bring out and make your avatars and your people and your tribe gravitate towards you. Like they want to hear what you have to say and they with you. And kind of like how people say no to us sometimes, that's just how it's going to be. You just have to move forward and keep being true to yourself.
Cami, I also think that that's a question that's going to evolve for all of us over time. I think right now it's something that even I'm thinking about as well. Like how can I be expanding my reach, but also being true to myself? Because I don't want to market to everyone. That's not how I want to run my business. I don't think that's a good way for anyone to run their business, but how do I expand my circle a little bit beyond the very, small niche that I'm trying to look at? But it's something that I'm thinking about too. But in the end, I think listening to everybody else's advice on that is going to be good, that you're not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. But over time, if we're kind of expanding, I don't know. I don't have an answer, but I think it's definitely on my mind too. I don't have concise words.
Definitely.
All
It's
right.
not an easy question
No.
at all, which is why I'm still like going back and forth with it in my head every day of like, I need to be true to myself, but also acknowledging what I'm displaying here is not like saying it as a hard and fast truth is not a hard and fast truth for everybody. It's very indicative of what my life has been. So.
But also, Cami, are you offering the 3-month membership?
And in conversation, not outwardly though.
Okay, so I feel like that's another way too, is like, that's extremely cheap. That's $10 a month basically for like a gym membership essentially. And I think that's probably the cheapest you're going to find anywhere. So that could be another, another way that you spread to a larger audience is sharing those packages that this opportunity is for everybody and it's been made affordable for almost everybody. And so, yeah.
And I'm sorry if you have a cell phone and you're watching social media, it's not just affordable for most, it's affordable for every single person. I mean, if you're watching social media on a smartphone, you can afford a 3-month membership. Literally everyone can do this.
And I'm also thinking too, thinking about that question, it could be that we only see this because our circle is so small, and obviously we're all really similar as far as race, economics, whatever, even age. But when you go to Summit and you see the people that go across the stage, it's not just white middle-aged women. It's everybody. So it could be that we're just seeing this. You know what I mean? Because it's everyone. There is all races and communities there and ages and sizes, and that was one of the incredible things about Summit that we're not getting this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see Nicole, you asked, do you plan to run power hours? I can. What do people want that? Is that like a thing people want to do together?
What is a
I
power?
love power hours.
It's like when people get on Zoom together and work. Usually for me, they're more like a half an hour. But yeah, and you just like do stuff together so that there's like no thinking about it. You just like, okay, let's go follow some people. All right, time's up. Let's go do this. People say power hours because I don't know where that name came from, but someone did an hour, I guess. Emily.
You did one a few weeks ago, and I loved it. It was fun.
Yeah. Okay. I liked it too because I do all
Mix
those
them
things
in.
on myself in the morning, and then it's fun to have people on. So maybe we should do that next week. All right.
Yeah, just like I was thinking every now and then, because some of the power hours that they run on what Facebook page is it?
Yeah.
Champion? I can't always do it when they do it, but I have like this, I have like this time set in my calendar. So like every Tuesday, 5:45, like if I know that we could get like a half an hour power hour in, like rock solid.
Awesome. I'm glad this time worked out for all you baby grandmas out there. Sunday at 8 with Andrea was just far too late for us. All right. I don't want to keep anybody any longer. So let's wrap this up. Oh, Emily said we could do a team call on inviting to the coach opportunity and coach sneak peeks. Sure. Okay. Got it. If anybody has ideas for calls and stuff, we're like, I want to know this, like, let us know. If we don't know it, we'll go find someone that does and we'll just ask them to do it. So awesome. All right. I'll write that down. Okay. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for being on.